What's going on, guys? Tinker's Musings here. Today we're going to look at my rack. Well, not that kind of rack, but my server rack, and we'll be talking about what's in there and what makes my home lab work. Alright, so at the top of my rack I have a 4x3 VGA monitor, and it has a keyboard below it, standard little Logitech K400 keyboard, and a couple of UPS units. I do plan to make those more enterprise in the near future, just trying to size that out and see if I need 240 volts or 120 volts. Between the two, I think I can load up 1500 watts, and I'm currently sitting at about 1000. 900 to 1000 watts. The first slot in the rack is a drawer, and this is probably where the keyboard would go, but I tend to keep my loose parts for whatever projects I'm working on here. Next we have a spacer, and then we have this D-Link switch, which is a 24 port gigabit switch, and nothing fancy there. You just plug in and it's good to go. The first server in the rack is the Dell380 G8, and this is about a 10-year-old, maybe 12-year-old server now, and it has dual x5690s, which are gives me 12 cores, 24 threads, and then it has 160 gigabytes of RAM as well as 16 times 300 gigabytes of SAS storage. Very capable for Chia plotting, 40 to 50 minute plot time with all RAM. The next server is the Dell380 G8, and this is the professional variant. It has 12 of these large form factor bays. I have 2 of these in this video, but actually I've added a third one, and I'll be adding more as time goes on. In here I've got dual E5 2620 V2s, but I plan to upgrade these to E5 2667 V2s, which will give the most performance per cost. Note, if you have the smaller 450 watt power supply, you should actually upgrade to the 750 in this case. Next in the rack we have the Dell360 G8, and it is the same generation as the Dell380 above it. A lot of parts that are interchangeable, and that makes it nice. It's in a 1U form factor, so very slim and compact. I have E5640s in here. They're low energy CPUs, but very nice for VMs. I'm going to be adding this to my Proxmox cluster soon. In a number of these servers I have Sun F80 flash accelerators, and that helps with temp storage for Chia plotting. Next we have these drive shelves that hold 15 drives each. These are the Dell MD1000 drive shelves, Powervaults, and they're the older disk caddies. So if you find these locally, make sure you look for these types of disk caddies, because the newer ones won't work. And this is also SAS 1, so you need to get a cable that goes from SAS 1 to SAS 2 if your controller is newer with SAS 2 or SAS 3 even. Next in the rack we have these D2700s from HP, and each of these hold 25 drives, and in the 2.5 inch form factor. So you can fill these up with SSDs, or you can fill them up with a maximum of 5 terabytes per drive bay. And the bottom one is actually loaded up with 5 terabytes each, so I have 15 of those. And then this is a mix of lower capacity drives that I plan to eventually replace. They were just kind of loose, hanging around various things that I had picked up over the years. Low energy consumption from each of these, so it's okay. I'm not going to have these run forever, but they give me a few extra plots in the meantime. And then in the bottom I have this empty space that these are actually came with the net shelter, and I plan to put probably a UPS here. This will allow me to have a rack mounted UPS, and depending on the needs, that's what I'll be putting here. I also have some space up above that I haven't decided what to put in there. Maybe another server or even another drive shelf. But that'll be something I decide another day. Beside this, I have this Fractal Design XL version 7 case with a Ryzen 9 3900X and an ASRock X570 Tai Chi motherboard. Many hard drives fit in here, I think up to 18 to 20 plus. I have it currently maxed out. It's in the storage configuration. Raw storage within this system is about 135 terabytes. Of that, I have 100 terabytes allocated to Chia. It's also what I use for my Windows gaming, and home lab services run here within Docker. And I have a Machinaris node here for connecting back to the full node. And then up here we can see a reading of each of the current wattages. Not too bad. Averaging about 450, 500 watts each, maybe. And so that means about a kilowatt of power at any given time. This one is actually higher capacity than the one on the right. I'm really looking forward to consolidating and getting an enterprise solution very soon. Right now I'm not overloading these. The APC is a bit close to capacity. It is rated for 600 watts, and then this one is the CyberPower. It's rated for 900 watts. That will do it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it, and please leave comments down below and ask any questions about the setup, and let me know what you're doing in your setup. I'm curious and always interested to see what other people are doing. If you liked it, please hit like and subscribe, as well as hit the little bell icon so that we can let you know what is coming up next. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks.